Lock Nation, how are you? It is so good to see your beautiful smiling faces. I'm so happy to be in the Christmas season. I love the Christmas season because we're able to, you know, celebrate the birth of Christ. For those who don't know, I'm a Christian. And honestly, I thought, what better way to really kick off this Christmas season than to react to some great Christmas photography fails. Now, keep in mind, I did have to, again, mute most of these because they had copyrighted music on it. I didn't want to get a copyright claim or anything. So, without further ado, let's watch the first one because these are great. Okay, so she's, oh, is that the Grinch behind? He's all sneaky, like, I'm very, very sneaky. And the girl's just like oblivious. Let's see what happens. She's cooperating. She just saw him. Oh my gosh, I love that so much. Like, I gotta watch that again because there's a moment when she really just, because she's just sitting there really quickly. Not really quickly. She's just sitting there, really polite. Being cooperative. Like, okay, let's just get this over with, Mom. Like, I'm done. But then you can see in the background that there is a Grinch that's lurking in the background. I love how he does the little that the Grinch does in the actual Jim Carrey live action movie. But I love this part right here because he's being very sneaky and stealthy, and she's just completely oblivious. But it's like right about here that she's like, oh heck no. She's like, you can just see her just panic and just run, just look, as a photographer, like, I've done Christmas photo shoots for people. Some of those horror stories that I've brought up in the past were from the Christmas photo shoots promotions that I was doing. And I would buy a few different like decor items that people could put in with their Christmas photo shoots and everything, and they were great. But like, make sure as a parent that your kids don't get terrified of the Grinch, because personally the Grinch is one of my favorite Christmas characters, and I know that I probably wouldn't agree with that, or that I probably wouldn't say that if I was mortified or horrified when it came down to being scared as a little kid with someone dressed up as the Grinch in the background. I mean, because look at this girl. She's very upset. You can just see that she is just scared beyond belief. Poor little girl. All right, let's go on to the next one. All right, so I'm going to start this over just because I want to read the caption to you guys. How I expected the Christmas photos. Okay, so that's how all parents expect them. That's it's very common. They're gonna be, kids are gonna be cooperative. It's just gonna be great. You're gonna be able to send these out to your parents, to your extended family, to whoever. You know what I mean. You get the gist. But let's see what happens at the very end. I mean, those look pretty nice. I mean, but let's see what really happens. That's exactly what happens. Look, I'm going to pause this for a sec because as a photographer, let me turn that off for a bit. Come close. When it comes to being a photographer, I've had experiences, as I've mentioned, where kids were uncooperative. Kids were uncooperative, like maybe the kids just weren't smiling, or they just weren't happy about being there. Whatever the case, they weren't happy, and sometimes their arms were flailing around because they just couldn't. They had so much pent up energy that they really wanted to move around, and so I'd have to like go through and see like, hey, like and I'm like, okay, well maybe this one's good. No, like I could just go on for hours about that kind of stuff, but I feel for that. For this husband and wife that were trying to get these great photos, because honestly, I mean, the thought is there. The thought is there, and honestly, this is how my kids will probably be. right about here. That's how my kids will probably be. Uncooperative, crying, and just done. What actually happened. That's exactly what happened. And so honestly, look, you're not gonna get the perfect photograph, especially like if you're the photographer, you gotta be patient with your clients. I cannot emphasize that enough. You know, I've had clients where, again, their kids were being uncooperative, or maybe even the parents were being uncooperative. But just keep that in mind. Patience is a virtue. Okay, Lock Nation? All right, let's go on to the next one. All right, let me pause this because I wanted to, again, read the caption. It says, what I thought my dog's Christmas photos would look like. Now, if you're a pet parent, you know that sometimes pets are not cooperative. But let's watch. I mean, those look nice. They look great. Very, cooperative. Okay, so actually, it goes from being the cooperative to the uncooperative. Because, look, that's like a Hallmark photo, right? You have the dog in the midst of all the gifts, and it just looks happy. It's like, oh man, I love life. I love my humans. And then you go from that to this next one right here, where they're just like, get that thing out of my face. I'm so done with you humans. Like, this is how a lot of dogs and cats are. Like, the dogs that my family has, he just, when we try to FaceTime with my brother, he does not like having the FaceTime camera in his face. He starts gnashing his teeth, and this is the epitome, right? Let's see here, right about here. Yeah, sorry, my hands, you know what I mean. This is the epitome of what a dog acts like when it comes to getting their photos taken. Like, I've had dogs who've done that. So let's finish it up. Let's finish this video up because there's some pretty great photos, so I'm not gonna lie. Sticking his tongue out, like, that's awesome. Like, this is great. The dog's just like, I'm done with this. Like, humans, I'm done with this. All right. Boring. They're bored. They're like, I'm done. Can we go to sleep? Like, that's just unfortunate, honestly. Right, no. Try to take a nice Christmas couple. Everyone's like doing the rabbit ears, like behind, like, oh, I'm being so cool. I mean, look, I would be no. Like, if this is me and my wife's first Christmas together, and people are trying to like photobomb in the back, I'd just be like, bro, or bruv, really? Like, what are you doing here? Like, we just want to get a nice photo. Because, I mean, look, they're happy. They're happy. They're just like, oh, she's probably like, hey, come get a photo with me. This is our first Christmas. And then you have the family behind you. You have the photobomb in the back. Look at that. Like, this would actually be my family. Like, my older brother, who I talk to all the time, like probably on a daily basis, he would probably do this to me and my future wife just to mess with me, and same with my mom. And so I'm sure that my future wife's family would probably do the same. Oh, it's funny, but it's frustrating. It's funny, but it's frustrating. It's just like, did you see the lady's reaction? She's like, seriously, guys? Like, I just wanted a nice photo. Like, I just wanted a nice photo. All right, next one. Okay, so behind the scenes of taking Christmas minis with a toddler. This is what I was talking about earlier. Parents, and I'm sure photographers, if you're an experienced photographer, you know that sometimes toddlers, they don't like staying still. Like, not sometimes, all the time. Like, people watch all the time in church, and most of the people that are up moving around are people that are trying to control their kids. Now, as a photographer, I've had parents trying to control their kids to do photos, like Christmas photos and everything. And toddlers, they don't like standing still. they want to move around. And I'm sure you'll probably see some more in this video later on and react to some other videos. But man, I feel for this photographer and the parents, of course, because you pay money, you pay good money to do these mini sessions. And there she goes. She just runs off. She's like, nope, I'm done. I'm not going to cooperate. Kudos to the photographer, though. She seems to be handling it really well. She's all over the place. Look at her. Oh, man. She is just being uncooperative. You can just see the parents are just, like, down with this. Oh, that poor family and that poor photographer. But those parents are, like, being so patient with their kid. Oh, man. All right, on to the next one. Oh, we've already seen that one. I guess I put that on there twice. Technical difficulty, right, Lock Nation? All right, Christmas photo shoot fail. Oh my gosh, see here again, you can see that the husband and wife are very happy. They're very photogenic. They're showing those pearly whites that everybody loves to see. And then you have the kids. The little girl to the right is giving that cheeser face that I've talked about in the past. And the little boy is he has a scared or confused look on his face. And then you have the dog that just doesn't want to sit still. Look, being a dog owner, I can attest to this. Like, you try to get a photo with a dog and it just moves around. And then, like, I've taken photos of people, especially like for Christmas, where one of their kids is being uncooperative. And oh man, it gets annoying and frustrating at times. So kudos to these parents because they're being very patient. But enough yakking, let's just finish watching it. Oh no, he's picking his nose! That is awesome! That's it. You can just see like the dad's just trying not to like destroy the whole moment. He's trying to be supportive of his wife, but you can just see that he's just like he's about to go right up there into his nose, and then the daughter's just like laughing about it too. Like, oh my gosh, more power! Like, kudos to these parents right here because they understand that, like, sometimes these times capture precious moments. If I can get the words out of my mouth. All right, but that's awesome. Okay, that's a pretty nice one. That was a pretty nice one. I'm not gonna lie. Same with that one. That's actually a really nice one. Like, I mean, I would put that on a Christmas card. Let's see what happens afterwards. He's like, I want to touch. I want to hold the camera. Derp face. He's like, oh man. Oh, these poor parents. Because he's just done. He's like, I'm done, Mom and Dad. I'm done. You can tell he's done. Okay, that looks nice. That's a nice photo. Okay, that's nice too. Very nice. Gotta be cooperative, right? And he is not being cooperative. This reminds me of Calvin and Hobbes. If you've ever seen that comic, you'll understand. Calvin was the most uncooperative kid. See, these are nice. They're really nice. And even that's a really good shot right there. He's out in his nature. He's out in his natural habitat, if you want to say it like that. But I believe we only have one more, and this one, look, Lock Nation, come close. You know that I love dogs. You know that dogs are my favorite animal. And what better time of year to capture some great photos of dogs, namely Huskies, because I'm a big Husky fan. If you don't believe me, go back and watch The Life of a Dog. You'll see that there are so many Huskies in that video. But what better way to finish this off than with some Husky photo photography fails. Our dog's Christmas photo bloopers. they're oh my goodness, they are gorgeous. That is awesome. I love it. Oh my gosh. It's like, I just want the treats, human. Like, I gotta watch that again just because, I mean, I gotta give them kudos because like they're being pretty cooperative. My mom's dog, our family dog, he would not have been this cooperative. He would have just pushed right through that little cardboard cutout and said, "Give me the food now." Like, I mean, and the fact that he's just being so patient, that's awesome. Like, I love huskies. I love dogs. And look at that one. He's like, the only way I'm going to come out and stick my head out in this hole is if you let me lick that jar and you don't play tricks on me, human. Oh my gosh. This is great. And see, this one, this reminds me of my first dog. Now, let's travel back in time a little bit, back to when I was 10 years old and I got my first dog. Now, again, if you haven't seen that video of Life of Dog, I'll put like an iCard like right here. And this is actually looks a lot like my family's first husky that we ever had. And he was uncooperative. He was very uncooperative when it came to taking photos. I could tell you so many stories about that. But, I mean, and then there's this one. This would be my family's current dog, Ollie. Ollie he's driven by food. You tell him he has enough food, he doesn't believe it. But this is what he would do. But again, he would be pushing all the way through that. They're so cute. They're such cute dogs. Like, I love huskies. I love huskies, and that's why I chose to end this one on this one, because that was a mouthful. In this one, on this one, I speak proper English, I promise. Because I chose to end this on this specific video because I love huskies. I love the fact that, you know, their natural habitat is winter. You know, my dog will go running around in the yard and just acting like a gazelle because he loves the winter time. He loves doing zoomies, and this is just awesome. Like, I love it so much. It's the mere fact that like they even got them to cooperate, which is what's impressive to me. Because honestly, Ollie would not cooperate with that. But with that being said, guys, I love this so much. I love reacting to these photography fails because as a photographer, I've seen so many frustrations. I've experienced so many frustrations, whether it be from my own point of view or from another photographer's point of view as well. But with that being said, guys, I will see you in the next video.